Louis and Shuey's, and we are rounding out our NFL preseason chat.
It's been a long 7 hours.
It's been a while, but we're going to finally finish an exciting division, the AFC West. It's Big Poochie here, joined by the OG, that is GMAC, and we're talking through the AFC West, which is one of the best divisions in football.
It's not.
It is.
No, I've got it as the worst division in football this year.
What a rascal, honestly. I know that just blew the hinges off. But anyway, let's talk through. Let's start off with the Broncos. We'll start off from a low ebb and then go through the Raiders. But the Broncos, who are living still, I think, with a $30 million hole.
That's right. Paying $30 million for a guy that doesn't work there anymore, whose catchphrase has set them back 100 years. The only thing funnier than Let's Ride is his draft night with his wife's big mouth.
She was gone.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson, that must be, and I was a huge fan of Russell Wilson at the Seahawks, but I reckon that trade must be easily one of the worst in
It's
NFL
the worst.
history.
It's the worst, and it's never going to get beaten.
5 picks, couple of players.
Broncos are bottom 5 team for me. They're poor. The rebuild after the rebuild, but they're in rebuild mode after the Wilson trade fiasco that we just spoke about. The coach is top 5 coach, Peyton. He's brilliant. At least he had the balls to cut it short and not keep paying Wilson for another 3 or 4 years. He knew he wasn't going to do it, didn't want him. But the pressure that will be on Bo Nix this year, who was 12th pick in the draft, he's not a 12th pick, right? But he's
not bad, man. I mean,
he's okay.
His completion rate.
He's at least an adult.
His completion rate in college. He went through 5 different coordinators in college,
and they all had better wide receiver rooms than the Broncos have got right now, right?
Yeah.
The Broncos have got no weapons for him, and he's a young.
But he's a guy that can take on information.
Listen,
and look, the Drew Brees.
It's as safe a pair of hands as you could have got in a rookie 100%. Quarterback, right? Which is what they needed because he has to play.
So we spoke about Richardson, high ceiling. His ceiling's certainly a downside.
He has a ceiling, But he's probably closer to it already. Yeah.
However, his floor is going to be quite high, and so that's probably what they need, a safe pair of hands.
I just think that you can only be so smart with such a poor squad. For me, if he is as smart as we think he is, Peyton, he will tank this year, right? Because he's not winning the division. He's coming bottom of that division. I know he's too proud, but if he does tank, he could get himself a couple of good draft picks, even though he's probably giving them all away to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
I don't know what draft capital they get, even if they get first pick next year, if they even get it. But I've got them in trouble, and I've got them bottom of that division.
I think because Sean Payton is as good as he is, he's got the offensive line sorted. He's got Bo Nix. He's 2 drafts away from.
Have you got them any higher than 4th in that division?
I've got them 3rd.
3rd, okay, sweet. There we go. Cool.
3rd quite comfortably. We'll move on to the Chargers, and I know you're wearing a Chargers top, of a team of which I've got a real soft spot for. I am so happy they've finally got a grown-up as head coach. The Spires family have finally forked out the dollars. You pay for what you get, mate, in this league, and Jim Harbaugh winning the Natty with his alpha motto.
I've got the Chargers 2nd in this division, but only because I got it as the weakest division, right? I got them maybe they might be 2nd with 7 wins, right? Like, because the other 2 are so bad. The new coach is a stud. Everyone's thinking he's going to do well instantly. I don't think he's going to do well instantly because even from his draft picks, he got rid of all his wide receivers and didn't get any to the 5th round. He's changing the whole dynamics of the club to a run-first mentality because that's the way he's always coached.
Yep.
And unfortunately, lost his stud running back. So he's replaced them with 3rd and 4th running backs at the Ravens, who were happy to get rid of them because they were getting Derrick Henry.
His brother just sold him a dud.
And all the old line.
Have you seen the size of that?
Yeah.
Joe Alt.
Yeah. Alt. Yep.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Very good draft, very good pick, but it tells you the mentality of him. And you've got a gunslinger like Herbert who won't be a gunslinger and he'll be passing it off to running backs all day long, a la JJ McCarthy at Michigan, right?
Yeah.
So I got him coming 2nd. They are definitely 1 or 2 drafts away before he can really let things fly because he's going to need more offensive weapons. He's going to need a better running back, a stud running back, and he's going to need at least 2 good wide receivers. But because the Raiders and Broncos are so rubbish, I'll use that word, not swear, the Chargers will get 2nd in this division, but they won't make the playoffs. The 3 of these teams won't make the playoffs, and that's why it's the worst division in football.
Look, Harbaugh, whether it's Stanford, Michigan, 49ers, wherever he's been, and he was when he first started, wherever he's been, he's made them better, and often very quickly.
Yep.
I agree with you that the Joel trade pick, I think was 5.
Yep.
good pick.
But he could have got neighbours. He could have got
Sure.
could have got some real weapons. But that just tells the mentality is what I'm saying. He could have given Herbert some real weapons.
Yeah,
and he chose O-line.
But the problem for me is you then need, if you're going to have a running game, you need better runners.
Of course.
And I think Dobbins and Edwards are
Always
very
injured.
injury prone. Look, I think they'll be what I spoke about earlier with Barkley at the Eagles having a better offensive line to penetrate through.
Yep.
These boys will have as good as you can find, so they will have a good platform to run from. But I think they're another draft away from being competitive. So the only way I see them being competitive is they're going to win games tightly with a strong defense.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the Baltimore Ravens or Michigan guy as the defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to make them real tight. They've got Bosa and Mack as their edge rushers. The way I see it is, if they're doing well, they'll trade Mack at the deadline, try and get a wide receiver just to offer more on the offense.
Yeah, so who's available at the time now.
Yeah.
Possible.
Possible.
I still think this is an experimental season and getting everyone into the zone.
But I think
if he makes the playoffs this year, he really is the coach of the year.
Pundits are higher on him. High on
because they just know how good a coach he is. Like
which he is.
You could not guarantee they'll be in a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. That's how good a coach he is. But this year, the squad's not good enough.
Agreed. One squad that isn't good enough, certainly, because if you think about a beautiful mind, right, you've got all the puzzles and the...
Not your mind, then.
Mine's just pictures of a truck driving past.
Yeah, and the Aussie swing.
Yeah.
Just going up and down all the time. That's just steady and swing.
But you got the equations, right, around Russell Crowe's head, right? The one equation should be no QB equals no Super Bowl, no playoffs.
100%.
And the Raiders, for as good a pass rushers they've got, for having Devontae Adams, for now having Brock Bowers, Crosby as the pass rusher, they do not have a quarterback that is going to take this team anywhere.
They would go further with Bill Crosby than they will with Max Crosby. Because you need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still got them above the Broncos, though, because I actually think the squad's okay.
Yeah.
But, again, Bo Nix is unproven, and at least they've got Minshew, right? So they've got average... You got Uncle Rico. You got average quarterbacks, but they ain't winning many games because of that, right? And in a division that has the Kansas City Chiefs... they ain't getting close to winning that division. In the words of Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that.
I'm not sure Uncle Rico could throw it over the mountains this season because of that offensive line. I think the Raiders team is slightly better than Broncos, but I'll take Peyton over. It's Pierce,
it's the
ex-coach,
Giants legend.
Yeah. So look, much of a muchness. Disappointing again that the Raiders are just not going to be contenders yet again.
It's crazy because they're one of the coolest teams. They're one of the coolest teams. Everyone wants
them.
Straight out of Compton.
The 90s.
Yeah, everyone wants them to be great. But
the stadium now in Vegas, it's all there.
Madden, they're very irrelevant, and like I said, there's not much more you can say about them. Let's move on to the reigning Super Bowl champions. The easiest of all the easy ones to pick. Who's going to win the division? Kansas City Chiefs. If they don't win this, I'll give up podcasting. No, I would do something way worse. But yeah, the Chiefs are definitely winning this division. They're probably going to be a 14-13 winning season and win the AFC this year. The last year they won the Super Bowl without wide receivers, which was a challenge, an amazing accomplishment. This year they've made major improvements in the wide receiver room, kept everyone else and drafted well. They drafted up to get Worthy, who's a speedster. And we'll get that deep ball when he needs it. But they also got Brown. They got Hollywood Brown as well, who's pretty rapid for a deep ball as well.
Yeah, 100%. They've got speed.
So they've got some real deep ball things. Rice is more of a short stopper in the middle, and we'll pick up stuff.
Yeah.
They've still got we'll see if he comes back after his long world tour, Eras tour. Yeah. But if Kelsey comes back and still hungry for another Super Bowl, then you get the best.
But you know what he's going to do, mate? He's going to be average. Just in the last few games,
picks it up.
Regular season, he's just going to pick.
Yeah, like I said, if I'm boring, I say the Chiefs win another Super Bowl because they're the best team. But the fact that they won it last year with no wide receivers, and this year they've got 3 or 4 better ones.
Who was the highlight of the Chiefs last year? It was the defense.
It was, and the defence has kept the whole defence as well. So they're the same. They're coming back, and they're going for greatness because 3 in a row has ever been done. No. So they're going for greatness. They've got a real purpose. And again, honestly, the easiest division. So they're guaranteed those 6 wins.
But you know what I love about the defence is that they've got Steve Spagnuolo right now. He's an absolute gut.
Superstar,
But he's like 60 odds and nobody.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Andy Reid's just like,
But
Steve, you've got to
He's
cover
deliberately did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a genius.
He's just a perfect
Get dad's
guy.
on and then no one wants them.
He's
Yeah.
just a
Don't
perfect
get
guy.
these young
He's
up and
a
coming
gun,
coaches.
knows his shit.
Yeah.
And no one's ever going to hire him for a head coaching role.
But yeah, I think if we're all being honest, the Chiefs look scary good again, and it's theirs to lose this year again.
Yeah,
I haven't picked them because it's boring.
Yeah, look, but the wide
it's theirs
receivers
to lose.
are unproven, right? Outside of Hollywood Browns. So
And
there's a little bit
Super Bowl champion now with a year's experience.
Yeah, but
He's going to be better.
The drops. But and he might be in prison soon, so I guess we'll wait and see.
Just a little hit and run.
nothing crazy. So this year I've got Chiefs, I've got Chargers, I've got Broncos and Raiders. You've got the Raiders and Broncos swapped.
Yep, I've got Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Broncos. So we've got one different there as well, which is good. Gives us a little bit of
differential for the
show me my money.
That's it for the NFL. We look forward to checking in, probably a couple of games in.
It's been good to see you all. Take care.
Bye bye.